What's up, everyone? This is the Spagmeister, and welcome to episode 3 in my Halo 2 Anniversary Legendary walkthrough. On this episode, I'll be covering Mission 5, Metropolis.
The rest of your platoon.
Wasted, Sarge.
And we will be too, sir, if we don't get the hell out of here.
You hit Marine?
No, sir.
Then listen up. Usually the good Lord works in mysterious ways, but not today. This here is 66 tons of straight up, HE spewing divine intervention. If God is love, then you can call me Cupid.
What about that Scarab?
We've all run the simulations. They're tough, but they ain't invincible. Stay with the Master Chief. He'll know what to do.
Yes, sir, Sergeant.
Thanks for the tank. He never gets me anything.
Oh, I know what the ladies like.
Hop in the Scorpion and let your Marines climb on board. As you're fighting along the bridge, go ahead and lay down a constant stream of fire on the ghosts and use the cannons whenever needed to finish them off. One strategy I like to put into action early on is taking down the Wraith that's at the top of the bridge. Sometimes you won't have too much trouble taking him out. Other times he may take quite a few hits, especially if there's an Ultra in the driver's seat. It's usually best to take out that Wraith early on. Otherwise, if you wait until you get too close, he becomes quite a problem to avoid the mortars. After you receive this checkpoint, a Phantom will fly directly overhead. This first Phantom you can usually ignore as long as your teammates really don't open fire on him. This next Phantom that shows up to your right, you will want to take out the two guns, especially the one that's on the left. Once that Phantom passes, go ahead and take out the Banshee that is to your left, and then target this next Phantom with the Wraith attached to it. And then take out this last Banshee, and he'll be a ways off in the distance. And then you can move on forward. For the rest of the bridge segment, all you'll have to deal with is some more ghosts. As you get towards the end of the bridge, 3 banshees will spawn above the tunnel entrance. Just keep your distance against them, and you can try to lead your shots with the cannon to take them out. Three more ghosts will appear before you. Just keep your distance against these guys and continue to prepper them. After you've dealt with the ghosts, 2 more banshees will show up from the same position as the other 3. And then to cap off this outdoor portion, 2 wraiths will show up from the tunnels below. You can try to play it safe and keep your distance against these wraiths. Otherwise, if you want to charge with your marines and play it a little bit more risky, you can do so. There'll be 3 jackals up by this half-open door. Try not to use your cannon on the 2 that are off on the left-hand side, because there's a beam rifle next to an explosive container, and you don't want to lose that weapon. At this time, park the Scorpion on the ramp like so that your marines can't pass through.
Tight quarters on the other side, sir. Use this.
And you'll want to deal with this next closed off section without the assistance of your marines. The reason I do this is because the marines are going to be far more useful for the next outdoor engagement. So just use your bow rifle to deal with the grunts and jackals, and then whip out your beam rifle and headshot the elites. Also target the jackals that are up ahead on this next half-open door, especially the sniper that's up there. Sometimes you'll see him right away, other times he may be hidden. Once you move forward far enough, another sniper will appear off to your right. Just try to keep your distance on him, and you can just go for buy shots to take him out. Before you head off too far ahead, chuck a frag grenade up behind this white container. Usually there's a beam rifle sniper that's sitting up there, and if you land the grenade in the right spot, you can usually take him out before you even see him. And that sniper really caught me off guard. Usually he'll be sitting up top there. I wasn't expecting him to drop down low. But if that's the case, just try to approach him carefully if you decide to use the bow rifle against him. And then one of the last enemies that you'll have to deal with in this section is a gold zealot. If you played this out right, what you'll discover, there are two invisible elites that are sitting behind this white container. Leave those guys alone for the time being, and you'll see why. What you'll want to do at this point is move the Scorpion out of the way and trade out your Marines as weapons for beam rifles. Once the Scorpion is moved, these Marines will move up the ramp. And what I like to do is, because they tend to be trapped in this initial portion of this closed off area, what I like to do is use the Warthog to encourage them to move forward. Just try to be patient with these Marines and try not to get them killed. If you do, just try to reset to the last checkpoint. Once you have them down here, all you need to do is get them over by this green and white container, and then they'll move forward. What I like to do with the Marines is at least give the ones with the rocket launchers beam rifles. And the reason I do this is because those Marines will either kill themselves while they're on foot, or they could accidentally kill their teammates. And they're not exactly as accurate with a rocket launcher against infantry while they're on foot, because they won't aim necessarily for the ground. So it's usually better off to give them a precision weapon instead, and that way they'll be way more useful. At this point, hopefully 4 of your 5 Marines will be armed with beam rifles. And then as for these 2 invisible elites, what ends up happening is if you leave these 2 elites alive, your Marines will stay put behind the trailer and the white truck. So what I like to do with these guys is to try to stick the one in the back, shotgun the one in the front, and that'll kill both of them. And then your Marines will move forward. Around the corner in that little room, you'll have one Jackal sniper, and you'll just want to headshot him as quickly as possible. Go ahead and pick up the rocket launcher as well as the ammo that you have from your Marines, and then you can move forward. As you come into this section, go ahead and rocket this sniper and try to take out the one that's on the platform. And then drop the rocket launcher for the sniper rifle. What you want to do is try to quickly get down to ground level to stop the Warthog, and that way you can save that Warthog for the next upcoming engagements. What I like to do here is watch this spawn point where all these snipers pour out from, and what you want to do is just try to take them out one at a time. or they'll spawn in one at a time. I think the magic number is 12 snipers spawn from that position after you take out the initial 2. And then what happens is if you run out of beam rifle ammo, you can swap out to your sniper. Once the snipers are down, then go ahead and start targeting the elites that are up on the platform. At this point, hopefully all of your Marines will still be alive, which they should if 4 of them have beam rifles. What you can do now is hop in the Warthog and then just clear out the rest of the enemies in this particular area. Once all the infantry are down on the platform, 2 ghosts will show up. Try to do your best to not take too much damage in the Warthog as you're dealing with the ghosts initially. And once the ghosts are down, come back up here and retrieve the rocket launcher.
Let's get this show on the road.
And then go back and retrieve one of your Marines. And then what we're going to do is set up the rocket hog strategy.
Buckle up. Are you sure, Chief? Thanks.
Before you proceed forward, hop out of the Warthog at this time and take out these 2 snipers that come out of the tunnel ahead. And then you can hop in the Warthog with your Marine buddies.
Incoming.
Just drive around well enough so that your Marines, both on the turret and in the passenger seat, can target the Wraith.
In a lot of pain here.
Roll over, play dead. See?
Got some trouble, boys. Keep it up. Eyes open. Eyes open. Let's go.
After dealing with the initial wave of vehicles, some more ghosts will show up.
Things gonna get a lot worse.
A second wave of ghosts will show up after the first.
Ain't nothing we ain't done before. Let's get ready, people. That's what I call a team effort.
And what I like to do is swap out for the rocket launcher that's sitting here and bringing that along for the rest of the mission. As you come up on this next area, just wait a moment for the warthog to pass on by before you start targeting the ghosts. Park up by this tree and start targeting these two snipers ahead. And this is where the rocket hog comes in really effective.
Concentrate on the raids. They're the biggest threat.
Lock and load, safety's off!
After you take out the first wraith, another one will show up on the left-hand side.
Alright, this is it, people! Brace up, it's gonna get hot!
Find some cover! Ow!
Lock and load, full auto!
Target neutralized.
After you deal with two of the wraiths, a phantom will show up and try to deploy a couple of ghosts. But if you're quick enough, your marines will be able to take down the ghosts before the phantom deploys them.
Sir, Corporal Perez, A Company. CP's this way. The lieutenant got hit as soon as we dropped in.
Who's in charge now, Corporal?
Sergeant Banks, ma'am. He's up top. Come on, I'll show you.
When I asked for reinforcements, I didn't think they'd send a Spartan.
We got trouble.
Before the Scarab arrives at your position, knock down that radio tower.
See this look? It's terror!
Marine, did I give you permission to bitch? I don't think it's stopping. Sit their heads down.
That thing is really starting to piss me off!
Marines, time to kill off the Scarab.
As you approach this marine, try to give him your sniper rifle in place of the SMG he's carrying. It doesn't necessarily matter what weapons you use for this part, but the rocket launcher will come in extremely useful for the enemies that are on the Scarab. As you're fighting the enemies that are on board, you'll want to try to anticipate the movement of the Scarab. As you're walking along this catwalk, there's quite a bit of ammo for the rocket launcher, so make really good use of it. On board the Scarab, there are a couple of jackal snipers, so you want to play it really safe against those enemies. Both of them will usually show up at the same time, so if you land a rocket at the right position, you can take out both of them. Before you jump on the Scarab, a few more enemies will arrive from the lower portion of the Scarab. They'll be made up of grunts and one elite, so just try to take your time in dealing with them. Use the rockets at this point to take them out.
Careful, Chief. That elite was an Ultra, and those pilots are no pushovers either.
Down below there is one elite Ultra, and this guy you can try to use the rockets against, as well as the sniper rifle. And instead of trying to hit these guys in the back, what you want to do is just try to use the sniper or grenades to take them out. And that will wrap up this level.
That's right, you mothers! Run!
Not if we can help it, Sergeant.
Extract the Chief and return to an amberclad.
Roger that. Status.
Sir, the Prophet is bugging out. Request permission to engage.
Negative, Commander. All Vector 2 heavies for star side intercept.
Bam! Slip space rupture off the target's bow. It's going to jump inside the city.
There's no time, sir.
Green light. Green light to engage.
Punch it. Get us close.
Ma'am, without a destination solution.
We are not losing that ship.
And that will do it for Metropolis. So compared to the previous level, Outskirts, this level you should have a easier time to complete, especially just given the fact that you're working in a vehicle for the most part. And even the sections where you have to deal with the Jackal snipers are not too bad as long as you know how to handle them. The only tricky part to this level would be the this town ain't big enough portion, where you have the snipers that all spawn in from the one spot across from you. But aside from that, if you use the rocket hog well and manage your teammates, you should be able to clear out the second half of the level without too much trouble. So thank you guys for joining in with me on this episode. I hope this helps you on your run through Halo 2. And hopefully I will catch you in a future episode. And if you like, and if you haven't tuned in to my other guides, I have worked on Halo Wars and Halo C Anniversary. So hope you guys stick around for any future content on this channel, and I will see you in the next episode.